Why not? All right, so it's Saturday for most people. Um, let's see if anybody actually joins this. It's interesting. We don't know. With algorithms being what they are, you really are not in control of how what you put out on the internet reaches people. That's fair enough, you know. Followers and whatever and other metrics are not necessarily a one-to-one correlation with regard to reach. So it's an interesting experiment at any given time, to what extent you reach people. All right, so we have Lee, L-Y. Hello. Testing, for context, I'm testing the extent to which how does it work to go live on our YouTube channel? And that varies. I've done several of these where I go live randomly, probably various days of the week. That's interesting. Hour is interesting, but it's also interesting just like how much of your own supposed followers are you able to actually talk to and reach, especially just doing something random like turning on the live, going live. So we have Rainer Guyen or Nguyen, but hello. I'd be very curious what anybody who's watching this would be curious. Where are you at? What do you got going on? What's going on in your life? It's Saturday. I don't even know the day of the week. Is it now June 1st? Wow. Oh, so where I am, I'm based in Sweden currently, or we are. It's June 1st, but some people are a little bit behind. Most people in the U.S. are not going to be getting that vibe from the time they're in. So in Minneapolis, it's 8 p.m. Good to know. Huh. Maybe I should call my mom. I should probably call my little brother. Yeah, I should do that. Los Angeles, it's 6 p.m. New York, it's 9 p.m. Interesting. That's just the U.S. Where are you guys from? I'm making a Python AI art generator, working on my patent. I didn't know you're in Sweden. Amazing. Thank you, John. That sounds cool. Let me see here. They own this town. Yeah. Sometimes I have regrets about that song because it's we have regrets, me and Espresso, actually. That's me. Some things I think alone, some things she thinks alone. I can't speak for her, but this is one that I know we both agree on. It's interesting. There's a story about they own this town, which is kind of funny. I mean, how deep do I want to go on this? Well, when you're a struggling artist, which is all artists, actually, that's what you eventually realize. But when you have no breakthroughs at all, or let me put it this way: when breakthroughs that you have had are not meeting a sufficient threshold, one can feel discouraged. And there is a bit of an old boys club or an old everything club. It's not just, yeah. You can feel discouraged by fact that like these networks already exist and people are, you know, like they're kind of, you know, there's this whole thing about like nepo babies, and I don't really subscribe to that because I feel like if my parents owned a car dealership and they wanted to like teach me about the business, and then I kind of take over the car dealership, like, am I a nepo baby? Like, whatever, you know, that's the way it goes. uh but they're that's how you lose a train of thought. Never go too far down the shit. Somebody remind me what I was talking about. They own this town. Well, when we wrote that song, that was one of the, it was like a big fight that Shpressa and I got into, and it was it was the first time that, I think it was 2017 or 18. It was the first time that she traveled. We basically weren't together for like 2 days. And then I came, it's kind of a funny story because I thought I came up with the core idea while she was gone, but then we went back and listened to like some old voice demos, and it turned out that she had actually come up with this melody before, and we happened to be recording it, which is kind of fun. So actually I was copying her chorus melody, thinking that I did it myself, which is the nice thing when you have your own little ecosystem. Like, at least we're copying each other and not other people. Because, you know, then we can work it out. I mean, everything is 50-50 across the board. But in any case, we had gotten into this big fight. This was the first time since we had met that we were away from each other for multiple nights, like actually maybe any nights. But, and this was after like, I think this was like 2018 or something. So 6 years we'd already been together. And she went to visit her parents, and then I was there, and then I kind of fleshed out this thing. They own this town, and it describes the feeling that you have when you do really feel like I'm not part of the club and the gatekeepers are not letting me in or whatever. So fast forward, why I thought this was a relevant and interesting story is some older people, like my aunt and uncle, their friends, when that song, it was after You're Somebody Else kind of broke through in America, and it was on radio and all that, their friends heard They Own This Town. And the craziest thing was, like, the most interesting thing was, they were like, the dude was like, yeah, I love your most recent song, We Own This Town. Yes, it's so, like, it's so motivating. We own this town. And I was like, I didn't correct him because I was just happy about the enthusiasm for the song. But it did make us realize, like, man, that's kind of a negative song. I mean, like, it describes a reality, and it describes a feeling realistically. But it's also like, it's not something that we want to really like play or go out of our way to promote, because it's almost like certain people, like, I admired the fact that he heard what he wanted to hear. It was like, we own this town. Man, that would have been, why didn't we write that song? You know, it's like, why feel sorry for yourself? You know, and it's like when you know, if we sing that song, sometimes it feels like a perpetuation of feeling bad for ourselves. But at the same time, there's truth in that song, because there is like these old boys clubs, networks, blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's true, but it's like, is it motivating? And sometimes, I don't know. The question is like, most of the time, and it's not about being motivated, but it's like, at least not be demotivated. At least with like a breakup song or whatever, it's like a catharsis, you can say. Yeah, this expressed what I was thinking, but we don't want to we don't want to demotivate people. We don't want to like we don't want to be like a um we don't want to be a signal for nihil we don't want to be a signal for a sort of passive, regretful, nihilistic blah blah blah. So still love that song, still believe in that song, but like our relationship toward actually like embracing it and performing it is I don't know. It's you don't want things to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, it's true, but it's like just because something's true doesn't mean you go around squawking about it all the time. You know what I mean? In any case, let's see what we got. Uh, oh, hello, Mr. Spider. You shall go down to the floor. Okay. Never would have known that. I'm glad that. So Katrina said she likes I Got You. She said I Got You just made my life. Thank you. That's an unreleased song. We collaborated with a very talented dude, and you know, it's on our channel. It's not anywhere else. Love treating YouTube as an avenue for. I mean, I think we're in a time where everything is going to become more and more hard to. It's going to be harder and harder to discern for people like what is real. And this thing of like reestablishing real contact, and also like don't treat the YouTube channel as a place where like just polished things must go. Why can't YouTube be like an external hard drive in some sense? But I mean, like with a little bit extra. I mean, for God's sake, you don't want to clutter things up. Nobody has time for things. But it's like, be experimental. Be a little bit like, put this together, and I don't know, and I'm trying things like I like the idea of our YouTube channel as a place to experiment and try things and like throw out songs that haven't been released and see like how do people feel about it, get a little bit of a sense of like is there a what is the as much as one can discern, like what is the sense in the zeitgeist, in this little comment zeitgeist around this thing. Also keeping in mind that, as mentioned before, the internet is becoming more and more suspect in terms of what you can trust or rely on. So, but I still believe in like, I personally love reading comments because I want to get a sense of the zeitgeist. So it's nice to be able to post on YouTube and be like, okay, we reach a good chunk of our audience, and we'd like to make that chunk of our audience more engaged, and like treat YouTube as a place where, like what I used to think of in sort of in a similar way that we treat SoundCloud. SoundCloud is even like one step before. So if you guys don't follow us on SoundCloud, I mean, you don't have to follow us, but at the very least, go check out what we're putting up on SoundCloud, because with SoundCloud, we really try to actually treat SoundCloud like it's a sort of like it's like one layer above an external hard drive, where you are, where we are posting things when they're at least postable. It doesn't mean it could be very demo-y, it could be whatever, but it is sort of like a backup hard drive for us in a sense. It's like, so we post things very early there. We post early ideas. There are things that we've had on our SoundCloud profile for like 2 or 3 years that we keep iterating and we keep updating the file, and then eventually like whatever the final version that we posted to SoundCloud is that we continue to like, or whatever works, then that's the thing that gets put on Spotify and Apple Music and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm gonna see if anybody's got Urbex Mike says, love your music, 93 is amazing. Thank you very much. SL says, you high, bro. I wouldn't say I'm high, but I did, I probably may have, yeah, probably, no, I'm not high, but it's a Saturday night, and, you know, had a couple of beers or whatever. Rome says, to be fair, YouTube used to be that way. It was originally a platform to share your videos and ideas. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, of course it did. And it is that also, like, depending on your use case or whatever. Keep up the good work. Saving lives is a hero's work. Thank you, Bruce Wayne. Coming from Batman, that means a lot, to be honest with you. And if your name actually is Bruce Wayne, then also thank you. All right, now I'm at the end. So Dakota Twits says, liked the new release. Thank you, man. Or person, lady, anybody. Appreciate that. Which new release? I mean, so there's the there's like the random, I mean, not random, but there's the stuff we post on our YouTube channel and SoundCloud, which is like kind of the, I'm not gonna say cutting edge, but for us, like the part of the creative process. Or is it like something on Spotify? What was the latest release? Is it real? Yeah, but maybe you mean on YouTube. Missing home with it. Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate SoundCloud, I must say. Heaven will have to wait. Yeah. Yeah, that one means a lot to us. I can just say that. Yeah, I got you. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So on the YouTube channel, yes, with Maya. Yeah. Yeah, that one I just, it's been hard to decipher what we really think about it, like, you know, the whole structure and everything. But I sort of have a philosophy that when you leave something for too long, it's almost like, if there's something that is like I'm not gonna say acceptable, but it's like, if you don't feel like something is finished, then there does come a point where it feels like there's an obligation to just kind of set it free anyway. You know, it's like, if you like it privately, like if we like it and we're like every now and again showing a friend or whatever, like, and it sits there, it's like after 2 years or 2.5 or whatever, however many years, and like not much is happening to actually move the thing forward or update it. It's like, you know, especially in this case where it involves another collaborator, it kind of feels like maybe just now it's time to just put it out there. Like, it's kind of like kicking the baby bird out of the nest, and it's like, maybe they're not ready to fly, but they're not going to get any more nutrients from mom and dad in the nest, sadly, because there's just a bazillion other chicks in the nest. And then, you know, once that happens, then we can actually still go back and say, like, okay, it's not officially released, but now we've got a renewed motivation because people are digging it on YouTube or whatever. So now maybe we should go and, is there anything that could be slightly better? Like maybe the kick could be a little less muddy or whatever. But in any case, I'm glad that you are resonating with that track, because I listened to it a few times today since we put up that video. And yeah, it's an interesting thing. Like, once you present a song to people, I feel like Express and I both feel like the energy that kind of gets, there's something about knowing that other people are listening to something which makes you reflect differently on the song while you're listening to it, which is weird. It's super weird. So there's like even just releasing things as part of the creative process, because it's like, pff, oh, wow, okay, now a bunch of people are hearing this, and then suddenly you just hear it differently. I don't know if it's like the collective energy of people listening, or if it's just one's own psychology about having shared something. Yeah, it's interesting. Um, Concert in LA or California. I mean, we'd love to. I'm sure that'll happen. I mean, I hope that happens soon. It'd be nice to do at least something. Um, Thank you, Urbex Mike, about the 93 comment. We really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks again, Michael. Yeah, we would love to California. It's been a long time since we performed in California. Um, John Soulmate, one of the best and most memorable videos I've ever seen. I am white and lost my Hispanic wife of 25 years in 2017. Now I'm married to a black woman. I cry every time I watch that video. Thank you for sharing that, John. That's I'm very sorry for your loss, and but glad that you have found love again, and glad that you resonate with that video. Let's see. All right, Dakota says that I was thinking about it too much. Yeah, it's sort of in that mood right now. So thank you for thank you for accommodating some overthinking. Kind of fun to philosophize a little bit. Eve Lopez, Memories of Us, and Don't You Look at Me That Way. All right. Well, thank you for the note, because sometimes it's hard, especially now, to select songs to perform live and stuff. And there was a time when it was like, oh shit, we need to write some songs because we don't have enough songs to perform live. And it's kind of fun to be like, look at all these albums that we love, that we've done. That's like, you don't think about that song or that song, and then, you know, we take a mental note of when people make statements like that. So Memories of Us is something that we've heard many times, and Don't You Look at Me That Way as well. So thank you, Eve, for, yeah, hopefully next time we're near you, we'll have at least one of those in the set. Thank you for all your thank you. Poland. Sarnowski Hubert is asking about Poland. Yes, that is actually a place where we're getting a lot of. It's one of the places in Europe where we're getting a lot of demand. I guess you would call it, but yeah, it's. We would love to go. We've never. I don't think. Again, I can't speak for Spressa. I don't think she's been to. Maybe driven. I think she's maybe driven through Poland. Maybe I've driven through Poland. Never performed there. So we would love to, and we actually get a lot of love from Polish fans. It comes up consistently, and yeah, we'd love to go. Actually, to the Polish guy who, or at least the person in Poland who has said that, what would you think is like a good? Where are you located, and what would you think would be a good venue for us to play? I'd be super curious about that. Andre says 93 is so beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, the Uncle West. Appreciate that. Can't share the origin of Flora Cash. That's like our one, that's like our one kind of top secret. I mean, people got. I mean, you know, that's our thing. That's our one kind of non-negotiable. Won't reveal. Maybe that'll change in like 10 years, but for now we're sticking to that. But I think there's several interpretations, I suppose, about where that came from. All right. Sarnowski, sorry about the pronunciation if it's terrible, I apologize. I'm located in Bydgoszcz, I don't know. Okay, I'll check it out. But the place I think you would fit right in is Inside Seaside Festival in Gdańsk. Last year, Black Pumas were there, and it was awesome. All right, that's amazing. I'm gonna check that out. Thank you for the tip. That's a fantastic tip. Gonna pass that along to our agent and say, all right, get us there, because why the frack not? Good question. How can we directly support you guys outside the office? Oh, I mean, you don't have to worry about supporting us. I mean, just, you know, if you see a show, please come. We would love to see you. And when we put out a new song, make a point to, I mean, we're going to try to, here's what I would say. We're going to try to release music monthly. This year we've kept with a pretty consistent schedule of like at least every, you know, month or so, maybe with a little bit of a few extra days or whatever. The algorithm doesn't always reach people, like even if they're following us on multiple channels, they don't always see it. But I would just say, you know, look for shows if we're doing any. We haven't done a lot in the last few years. Now we're coming back into that world. But more importantly, just every now and again, if you think about us, just think, hey, maybe I should see if Floorcast released something new. We probably did, if we go according to our new kind of thinking and plan. And beyond that, like, that's it. We just want the music to reach people. That's really the only thing. Like, listen to it, come see us live if we're anywhere near you, and it's, you know, that's it. Thank you for asking that, though. Did you ever have a street team? It's something that we've always thought about, but we've never really, it's never really been like executed in that sense of like what you think of when you think of a street team. But it's a great concept and it's a great idea. We would love to do that. It's just a matter of organizing people, and you know, and exactly how to organize people for something like that is kind of tricky, because like there's a lot of people in any given place maybe that would be willing to do that, but it's like, how do you actually like assemble that team in a bunch of random different localities? That is something maybe we just are ignorant. I mean, I'm sure we clearly are about that, but I'd be all ears about how to assemble street teams in 2025. I would love to do that. In any case, let me see. Champaign, Illinois. It's fucking awesome. I don't think I've ever heard of Champaign, Illinois. Love to. I wonder what the closest thing. Yeah, I'm curious where it's at in the state. That's such a great name, though. Champaign, Illinois. I would love to be from a town called Champaign. That's fucking awesome. Extra all the content on the last albums. I mean, yeah. Thank you, Michael. That means a lot, honestly. Guys, thank you for chatting with me. It's very late. Sorry if I appeared tired. I've had a couple of 2.8% beers, and it's also 3 in the morning here. Been working late, which I usually do. Stepping out in the car so I don't wake anybody up now. But really appreciate your support. Love you guys, and take care.